Hi everyone. So today we're going to be making another side table, but this time we're going to use this tree slice. What we're going to do is we're going to cut through the slice in order to then put an epoxy resin river running through the slice. So let's get cracking. As you can see now, I've drawn out the outline of the river that I'm going to use. I'm actually going to use the River Thames because I think it's quite an interesting shape. I've set it slightly off centre, so again we have an interesting design and river running through this table. So next up is to just cut this outline out. So we've now started to prep the wood for the epoxy resin that we're going to pour. And what I've done to begin with is I've taped up the underside of the table to basically tape up the grooves to make sure that no epoxy is going to run out from underneath the table. And then what I've also done is I've replaced in these little side pieces here, little parts that came off of the scrap wood, just to make it feel like it's a complete round circle, and then I've just placed that river into the middle of it. And then what I've done is I've used a little bit of wood glue to just seal these sections, just to make sure the resin isn't going to come out, and these are set in exactly the correct location. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix a small amount of resin. I'm going to keep it completely clear because there's no need to put dye in it at this moment. And then I'm just going to pour it just to make a very shallow layer on the lower side of the river. So the resin has partially set. Next up, I'm going to mix the rest of the resin for the actual river itself. Now I'm adding in a splash of blue to really give it that great look. The River Thames isn't actually this blue, but hey, here's to dreaming, right? So this next part is actually really exciting and probably my favourite part of the entire build, because you're watching the river come to life. You're seeing that great contrast between that bright blue and the colour of the wood itself. So I've also filled in some of the cracks in the wood just to give it a bit more strength for the final product. I'm now leaving the resin to set for at least 12 hours. Okay, so we've sanded down this surface now. Next up, I'm going to apply some wood glue in a rather sporadic fashion to create a cool, worn effect. The purpose of the glue is to actually restrict the stain's ability to do its job in certain areas, and that gives us this really cool pattern. So I'll let this dry and then I'll apply another coat. Now finally, I'm going to coat the whole thing with a layer of resin to give it a nice shiny finish. Once that's set, I'm actually going to have to leave it for about a month in order for it to really go completely rock solid. Next up, I'll drill some holes for the legs. And then I'll hand screw each of the screws into place. This ensures that we don't have any cracks in the wood. And there we have it, finished. There's only one of these tables in the world, but don't worry, I can make to order as well. You pick the river and I'll make it. Don't forget that 15% of the profit from my tables will go to a good cause. And if you order a custom made table, you can pick the good cause that we donate to.